Hey guys, it's Adi here, and this is our review of the Nokia Lumia 735. Now before we start, it's worth mentioning that this review is essentially a review for the 735 and the 730, since they're both really the same device, with the exclusion of the fact that the 735 has wireless charging and a single SIM 4G LTE, while the Lumia 730 has dual SIMs at 3G and no wireless charging. So with those out of the way, let's start with the actual review. Starting with the design of the phone, it's probably one of my favorite design languages in terms of actual look and feel in the hand. I really liked its predecessor, the Lumia 720, and the Lumia 735 doesn't disappoint. It has a 4.7-inch 720p display and a really slim polycarbonate unibody that's removable. And starting with the design of the phone, I'm really a big fan of this design language. I really like the Lumia 720, and it was one of my favorite looking devices from that generation. And the Lumia 735 or 730 doesn't disappoint either. It has a really nice 4.7-inch 720p display up front and a polycarbonate user removable back with multiple colors. You can see I have it in the bright green. It also comes in orange, white, and black. The phone's actually quite light, weighing in at 134 grams. The Lumia 730 is slightly lighter because it does not have the wireless charging, but not much of a difference. It is also a very thin device, clocking in at only 8.9 millimeters, making it one of the thinnest Lumias out there, and certainly making it feel very nice in your hand. The design itself feels solid, doesn't give or squeak under your hands. There are no complaints about button mushiness or anything like that. The buttons are very responsive, and it's pretty much a perfect body build. However, there are some flaws in the design in my opinion. First of all would be the fact that it does not have a physical camera button. This is of course in terms of keeping the price range down, but given that the phone is aimed at selfies and 5 megapixel front facing camera, it would really be nice to have a physical button to take those pictures with. My second flaw with the phone is very similar to this one, and basically it's about these soft screen keys. I really do not like them. And in the Lumia 735 they behave erratically, sometimes covering up components of the screen, which I'll show you guys later. Moving on from the design onto the actual screen of the phone, it has a very nice 720p display at 4.7 inches, giving it a PPI of 312. The 720p display on the Lumia 730 or 735 certainly doesn't disappoint. You'd have to strain your eyes really hard to actually see any pixels, and when holding it at arm's length, it's virtually impossible to see any. It's a very high quality screen and certainly is well worthy of a mid-range device. The screen itself also has some excellent outdoor visibility thanks to Nokia's clear black display. It also comes with Gorilla Glass 3 for preventing scratches, and all in all it's a pretty awesome screen. The Lumia 735 is also one of the first devices to launch with Lumia Denim, Nokia's latest add-on to Windows Phone 8.1 softwares, and it brings some nice improvements to camera speed and performance. However, most of these improvements won't be visible until the Lumia camera update launches, which till now is not available. The phone itself runs Windows Phone 8.1 Update 1, which brings some changes such as live screen folders and other features, and those are all really cool and useful. However, the Lumia 735 won't support some of the cooler features of Lumia Denim, such as the option to wake up the phone by saying "Hey Cortana" to activate Cortana instantly, or the option to shoot in 4K video. But once again, this is a mid-range phone and you can't expect that much from it. The Lumia 730 comes with a 1GB processor clocked at 1.2 GHz, accompanied with a Snapdragon 400 processor and an Adreno 305 GPU. All these actually work pretty well on the device, giving it a smooth and silky interface with virtually no lag or stuttering. Occasionally some apps would crash, but that's mostly due to poor optimization from the developers rather than shortcomings of the device itself. Other apps, while jumping between games and messaging, would sometimes take a while to load, but it's to be expected. Essentially, Windows Phone 8.1 and Update 1 run really smoothly on the Lumia 735, as you would expect, and it seems like a pretty perfect performance from the phone. The main selling point for the Lumia 730 and 735 is its camera. Not the main camera on the back, which is a 6.7 megapixel Zeiss lens with an LED flash. Instead, it's the front-facing camera, which is Nokia's first 5 megapixel front-facing camera capable of shooting full 1080p HD videos with a super wide-angle lens for getting a lot of people in the selfies. In my use of the front-facing camera itself, it took some really detailed images, as you can see here, and it basically blew away any front-facing camera I've tried. And it was a really impressive performance, and I really loved it. It did struggle a bit in low light, but that's to be expected since the aperture of the camera lens is still quite small. The main camera also takes some really good images with nice color reproduction. It does lack a bit of detail that you would be used to if you use the 1020 or the 1520 or other high megapixel count lenses, but it certainly gets the job done. And both these cameras take really nice videos at full 1080p. You can check those out on my channel. I'll post a link below. So it's safe to say that in terms of camera performance, the Lumia 735 doesn't disappoint from the front or the back. In fact, I think the 735's front-facing camera might actually take better videos than the rear-facing camera. Hopefully with the Lumia camera update that's coming soon, we'll also get more enhancements such as tap to focus and the ability to further control white balance in images. The Lumia 735 has 8GB of internal storage, expandable with a micro SD card up to 128GB. Thanks to the ability to install apps on your micro SD card with Windows Phone 8.1, that certainly isn't an issue anymore, rather than it used to be in the past. So you really don't have to worry about the problems with short storage. Just buy a larger memory card if you have to. The battery performance is also very spectacular. The Lumia 735 has a 2200 mAh battery that easily gets it throughout the day on above average usage. I used to play some games while talking and texting and using data almost consistently, and I would still have at least 50% when I got home from work, and it would easily get me till the end of the day where I plug it on the charger and start the day again. In terms of call quality, I found the Lumia 735 has some issues losing connection sometimes, where I'd randomly get 0 bars, and it would fix itself automatically either with a restart or when I tried calling. So it might be actually an issue with the software displaying an incorrect amount of bars, but the quality itself was pretty acceptable, and in fact the reception was above average in some areas where I know reception is usually poor. As I mentioned earlier, one of the issues I had with the Lumia 735 and the 730 were the on-screen keys, where sometimes apps don't properly respond to them expanding from the bottom of the screen, and as you can see, it covers up important elements of the UI, such as the menu button here. Thankfully, this isn't the case for all apps. Some apps seem to respond properly, especially the system apps. As you can see here, we have 6tag, which actually does respond to the soft key buttons by popping up the bottom, as you can see right there. So overall, it's not really a big issue. I mean, you can easily swipe up to hide them, but I found it a bit of a minor annoyance while trying to play some games and getting some work done. But besides that, I really don't have any complaints about the Lumia 735, just the fact that it's missing a camera button, and that's not really a main issue, but from someone coming from phones that have always had physical camera buttons, I found it a bit difficult to adjust, even though I could always pin the camera to the action center on the top of the hub. So that's pretty much it for my review of the Lumia 735 and I guess the 730 as well. In conclusion, I'd say it's almost a perfect mid-range phone with a few very minor glitches that some people won't even care about. So should you get this device? Yes. If it's in your price range and that's what you're looking for, get it definitely. And you'll be getting one of the best front-facing cameras on any phone I've tried. And in fact, if Nokia don't use this front-facing camera in their next flagship, I will be extremely disappointed. That's pretty much it, guys. Thanks for watching. Leave your thoughts about the device and its camera and what you thought of the review in the comments down below. Will you be getting this phone? If not, why? And please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys around the next video.